Hello everybody and welcome to Tip Tuesday from Sweet Beads in Las Vegas, Nevada. Hello and welcome back to Tip Tuesday. I'm your hostess Shae, and today we're going to talk about fringe. Fringe is a beautiful, lovely thing that adds dimension and movement and a little bit of fun to your pieces. This happens to be a Christmas ornament that I did last year. And this is a bead embroidery piece. And you can see it adds a little bit of light, of movement, of dimension. So fringe is fun. I've always loved those 1960s dress where the fringe would just shake back and forth. Think Anne Margaret in the Elvis Presley movies type of thing. But you can also use the technique to make jewelry, and this just happens to be a bracelet that I designed that is nothing but fringe. Lots and lots of fringe. More fringe than I ever really want to do again, but this is a pretty simple technique, and the beads are not important. I mean, they are important obviously to your design, but they're not important as to how the fringe is built. It's built the same no matter whether you're using crystals and bugles and little tiny drop beads at the end, or if you're just using seed beads, the technique is the same. And I'm going to do this via illustration because I think it's easier to see for everybody. When you're fringing, and here's what our fringe is going to look like, and I've just chosen some random beads. There's a seed bead, there's a long bugle, there's a bicone, a short bugle, another seed bead, and for our bottom bead, I've chosen to illustrate a dagger. But this could all be seed beads, this could all be bugles, whatever you want your fringe to be, the technique is the same. So say we're coming out of this bead and we're adding our fringe here, we're going to pick up all of those beads all the way down, picking up our dagger, in this case last. Whatever your last bead is, you're going to ignore it, and then you're going to pass back through all of your other beads and out wherever your pattern indicates, and that's going to create your fringe. What this does is this bead at the bottom holds everybody else in place. So you can see we come down, pick them all up, we're going to go through everybody but the last bead twice and then out. Okay, so it's a super simple technique, but it really is a lot of fun. Fringe, like I said, it adds movement, it adds light, it's just a fun technique. I really like fringe, although sometimes, for example, on this one that's got literally hundreds of fringe, after a while I was over it and didn't do fringe for a while. But it really is a great technique. Now I will recommend that maybe not so much on the bracelet, but when you're doing fringe, like we did on the Christmas ornaments or on the bead embroidery, that you use a very fine thread, something supple, because you want your fringe to sort of be soft. So you're going to use nothing heavier than, say, a 4-pound fire line. You could even use a 2-pound fire line. It'll just give you a little bit of drape. You could use Nymo. I personally am not a fan of Nymo, and some of my students have had real issues with it. Other people really like it, but it's a great fringing thread because it is soft and supple and kind of gives movement. So that's the fringe technique. I hope that you explore fringing a little bit more and adding some dimension and movement to your beadwork. If you have any questions or comments, we'd love to hear from you. You can always reach us on our website, which is sweetbeadslv.com. You can check us out on Facebook, on Twitter, and on Pinterest using sweetbeadslv. And until next week, we hope you have a great week and happy beading. And don't forget to purchase all of your beads, thread, needles, supplies. Check us out at sweetbeadslv.etsy.com.